Hello and welcome to In Touch with Durham County. I'm Deborah Craig-Ray, General Manager of Strategic Planning and Innovation. Joining me is my co-host, Wendy Jacobs, Chair of the Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, Deborah. We use the show to share vital information about the critical programs and services provided by Durham County Government.
You may have heard that the city of Durham is celebrating 150 years in 2019. Well, what you may not know is that the Durham County Department of Social Services is celebrating 100 years of service to the citizens of Durham County. Pam Purifoy, Durham County Social Services Senior Public Information Officer, joins us today to talk about the history of that outstanding department and the plans to mark this milestone anniversary. Chair Jacobs, let's begin our conversation.
Thank you, Deborah, and thank you, Pam, for being with us here today.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you here. So we understand that the Department of Social Services is celebrating the 100th year anniversary of serving Durham citizens with compassionate care. And can you tell us about this? Is this the theme of the anniversary?
Well, actually, compassionate care, we use that as a hashtag since I came on board, and we like to say we do it with compassionate care, that we serve you with compassionate care. We use that often in hashtags on our social media platforms. The theme for this year is like 100 acts of charity, and we have used that theme because we are working with various nonprofits, and many of which are some of our community partners already, to do outreach to celebrate our anniversary. And so we just literally have packaged up several packages for Valentine's for Veterans that we'll deliver to the VA hospital, and we collected so many items, toiletry items, socks, and things like that, that we had leftovers that we have given to families moving forward and to urban ministries.
Urban ministries,
right?
Yeah,
right.
Tell us a little bit about what you do for social services and how long have you been there?
I have been with social services. It'll be 3 years in July. And what I do is all of the internal and external communications for DSS, and plan events and whatever else comes up there at the agency, because we are forever busy with all of our many divisions.
Well, excellent, excellent. So how did you find out about the Social Services 100th anniversary, and did you do research? How did it come about?
It came about when our past director, Michael Beckett's, told me, he says, Pam, we've got an anniversary coming up. And I said, well, when is it? He says, well, I think it's in 2018 or whatever. And so as I did some digging, I said, no, it's not 2018. I think it's 2019. At any rate, we searched and searched, and I ended up getting in contact with the Wilson Library, which is a bunch of special collections at the University of Chapel Hill, North Carolina at Chapel Hill. And there was a book, a thesis in sociology written in 1926 by a woman named Margaret Battle Bridgers. That's a tongue tire. And she wrote her thesis on the history of social work in Durham. And that's where I kind of thought that we were in 1919, but even with her thesis, it didn't directly pinpoint the exact date. Mm-hmm. So the Museum of Durham History, they did some research and they helped me with identifying the actual date.
Fantastic. So what are some of the plans for the 100th anniversary? And more importantly, who's doing that planning?
Well, myself and a whole bunch of wonderful volunteers within the agency. I put out a call to ask who would like to participate. We got quite a few people that decided they'd like to participate and what have you in the planning. And one reason why we decided to do the outreach type of events over the course of the year was because there was the meeting here at the Human Services Building with all the various stakeholders that came. And one of the concerns or comments that kept coming up about DSS on how they can improve themselves, they wanted maybe a satellite office. Well, we kind of knew we wouldn't do a satellite office. And so one thing that we could do, though, is to be more outward facing to the community where they could see us and not so much behind the glass and the brick, out in the community, just doing things, connecting with them. And so that's how we've decided to start building on that with a variety of different projects for the Durham citizens.
So I love the fact that you're taking this opportunity as a way to improve social services and improve the relationship with the community. That's wonderful. So can you tell us about what are some of the outreach events that are planned?
Yes. Our first outreach event that we did was on Martin Luther King, on his birthday. We participated in Kids Voting Durham at Northgate Mall, and that was so much fun. We've got some really bright kids here in Durham, and we were talking to them about their dream in terms of what for themselves, the community, their schools, and really intelligent answers and posters created and drawings and what have you. And it was very nice, you know, and the lady who, I'm sorry, I can't think of her name, who connected us, she was so excited that DSS wanted to participate. And another event that we participated in, we actually marched in the Spectacular Magazine's 17th annual Martin Luther King Parade. And that was quite a lot of fun. And we got a lot of claps and cheers and a lot of thank yous from the community. Nice. So no one threw anything at us. We got a great warm reception from everyone. So that was great. And we had one person ask for food stamps, but they were laughing and in jest. We have done a collection throughout the agency for Valentine's. And we made that Valentine's for veterans and what have you. So by the time this airs, we've delivered that and had enough items that we were able to provide other items for a couple of other charities.
I know that people will really appreciate that,
yes.
Especially the veterans on Valentine's Day.
Yes, and we even had some items to give just to some of the nurses there at the VA hospital.
So what are some of the events that you're thinking about for
the next quarter?
The next quarter, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we intend to work with Habitat for Humanity. We intend to actually do some cooking for the Ronald McDonald House. That should be a lot of fun. We intend to there is a school, Eastway School specifically, the principal there has asked us to do some reading with children. So we will be doing that, and we will do it with any other school that asks us or that we volunteer to do reading for children and what have you. We are looking at some of our other agencies, like the to do volunteer projects with. So it's still ongoing. We have one signature project that I can't reveal just yet because it's not a done deal, but if we manage to pull that off, that'll be very large and you'll hear about it for sure.
And could you tell us a little bit about what exactly have you found in your research about the history of social services?
A lot, like social services before it became the Durham County Durham County Welfare Department, I'm sorry, was really founded by a couple of nonprofit charities. And initially, even before that, it was the thinking back in that time in Durham was that the wealthy should take care of people who don't have or what have you. And so, from my understanding, there was, they call it the crisis of 1893, that there was a great financial crisis, and subsequent with that was a terrible winter. And they ended up having just, things were just out of order. They had what they call professional beggars. And it was thought, look, we've got to not have people going door to door begging or what have you. And so we've got to take some of these charities that we have and organize them so that they can dispense what people need. And so that came along pretty well. The associated charities, there was another charity called the Provident Life Charity that was composed of women primarily. And so eventually, as time went on, they eventually decided, okay, we've got to get government more involved, because it was still, these charities naturally were depending on the wealthy to give and give and give, and there wasn't where people overall were contributing to their own good. And so when DSS was formed, or the County Department of Welfare, our first director, that was called the superintendent, his name was William Stanley. He started it in 1919, in December of 1919, and stayed on board until July of 1961. So he was there for 41 years. He had a budget of like $8,400. He was a one-man show for a while. And then the history skips way forward to 1951, where he had 28 people working for him, and then they had a budget of about $1 million. And somewhere in that history, I know that in 1925, it's the first African-American person was hired with the social services. Her name was Nanny Allen, and her job was to be the caseworker for African-Americans who came in that needed services. So the history's kind of sketchy all around, you know, with bits of here and there information.
That's a serious commitment to social services.
Yeah.
Yes.
They say his commitment was because as a young boy, when he was 11 and his dad died, he had to stop school and work in the Durham cotton mills and take care of his family. And so he had this commitment, even went to school for business and for social work. And he was selected to be the superintendent. I guess everybody was called, if you had a high position, it was superintendent, as I see, instead of director or whatever. But the social services.
Yeah, clearly he had a heart for service.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I know that, you know, in addition to doing the 100th year anniversary, there are a lot of programs and projects that social services has. And you all actually do a lot of observances. Can you talk about some of the other things that are coming up this year?
We, you know, foster care is a huge, huge commitment that we have. And we do a number of things ongoing for foster care. You know, we do our MAP training classes to encourage people to become foster parents. And even if a person were to decide after they fostered a child and that child became available for adoption, you would still have to go through that process and what have you. So what else do we do? There's child support month and what have you.
Yeah, and I know you all do the amnesty program?
Yes, the amnesty program is has been very successful. We believe it's better for parents to have a way out than being jailed because they weren't able to make payments and what have you. So yes, yes, we do that at least maybe twice a year. We won't tell you when we do it,
Right.
But we do at least twice a year.
Yeah, very good, very good. So tell us, please, something that people might be surprised to know about social services. And I know you all have so many programs and you really help families and seniors. Talk about what we do for seniors.
Well, our Aging and Adult Services Department, that is run by our Assistant Director, Janine Gordon. And what don't they do? They have, we have, I say just two. We have two people who actually go out and help some senior citizens with some life tasks at their homes and what have you. I think people wouldn't, I know I was shocked when I heard that, but we do that to help them. They might be like grocery shopping or things like that they need. And we have workers at DSS that help do those types of things for some of our citizens.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, I think this has been a really great conversation today. I mean, again, I'm just really excited about the fact that our welfare department has evolved into social services and all of the things that we touch in the lives of our community.
Yeah. Well, Pam, will there be actually a component of the anniversary to inform people about the history? Are you doing anything with the History Museum, or will there be a program associated with that?
Yes, we fully intend to have some programming at the Durham Museum of History. Or I get their name mixed up. Where it's the Museum
of Durham
History, and have a display there. We have gone through some of our archives, and we've got old scrapbooks, old pictures, portraits of some of our directors, and other little trivia things and whatnot. So we plan to have a display there and a reception to include our old directors that are still around and kicking, and employees and what have you. So yes, we do. We have some other things planned, some fun things. We hope to do something. We haven't formalize it just yet, but something more fun and interactive with involving food trucks and things like that, just for the public as a whole.
Well, you know, a lot of people don't realize that social services is our largest department. We have over 500 employees, and it's really one of the most important departments in the county.
It is.
We have over 100,000 people who are getting services every month in Durham. So basically, it's really about a third of Durham's population that receives some type of help. And so we really value that relationship and also all of the employees.
Absolutely.
So I hope there will be some celebration of all the staff as well.
Yeah, there definitely will be. Because some asked me, so when are we going to have some other fun stuff?
Right.
But you know what's so neat? One great thing that I love about DSS is that our employees, even though they're giving all the time, when I put something out there, well, would you like to participate in this? And it's like people, even if they see you doing something, they'll say, what are you guys doing? And then they'll join in or whatever. There's a great spirit of camaraderie among the staff, and also to do good just as a whole. So it's a pleasant environment, and great place to work. It really is.
Well, it takes a special person to work at DSS.
I think so.
I think it
I
does.
think our social workers are pretty amazing, and all the staff that support them and what have you.
Yeah. Well, we're about out of time. Would you tell people how they can get more information about social services in general, and your web address and a general phone number?
Okay. Our general phone number is 919-560-8000. Our web address is dconc.gov/DSS. Please follow us on Facebook and Twitter at facebook.com/DurhamDSS. And on Twitter, we're at DCODSS.
Okay, and we'll definitely put those up on the screen for our viewers, and they can see those as the show airs each time.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
And Pam, will there be some information about some of the planned activities, or how people can get involved or even share their own
Yes.
suggestions and ideas for the.
Sure they can,
Yeah,
and I would love for them. On Facebook and on Twitter, we're very responsive. You can inbox us on Facebook, and you will receive a response within 24 hours. And people do; they ask a number of questions and suggest things, and so we do pay attention. So they can connect with us that way, and we also definitely plan to put some of the events that we're doing on the Durham's 150th calendar.
Yes.
Right.
So that they can find out that as well.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, thank you again so much for all you do for our community, and thank you for joining us on our show today.
Thank you for having
Yes,
me.
thank you, Pam. You do a great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we've had another great show, Chair Jacobs.
We have. Thank you so much for being with us today, and we look forward to sharing some more information about the great things happening in Durham County.
We will continue to stay in touch with helpful information that our citizens can use to help improve their lives and maintain a positive quality of life. Please join us next time for In Touch with Durham County. Cheers!